Hello YouTubers. Right, now it's been a while since I heard back from P.A.L.S, and what I'm going to do is I'm not going to chase anything up, because I had a letter a few months ago now, and yeah, I'm not going to press on with it. Right, let's have a see. I won't read out all of the letter, but I'll just have so many snippets of it. Right. There was a few questions I asked, yeah, but in the end of the day, Andy was a stubborn man, and he refused to go into hospital. But there would always be them questions that will never be answered, you know. I asked him whereabouts in the intestine was the obstruction, yeah, and from what they were saying, they said that following operative intervention, patients will develop scar tissue adhesions, which allow wounds to heal. Now, Andy's cause of death was aspiration pneumonia, because he vomited, you see, he was vomiting. Yeah. They say that it can't be anticipated or prevented, you know, the scarring of the it can happen at any time, yeah. A patient who had surgery, and they still say Crohn's disease, but it was never confirmed, even on here. They said on here that it could have went into hospital, and they could have been able to unblock it, you know. Yeah. Adhesions are the most common cause of small bowel obstruction following surgery worldwide, and can't be prevented. The treatment is drip and suck and nil by mouth. I know I'm not very good at pronouncing words, but it looks like nasogastric tube for drainage of the stomach and intravenous fluid to prevent vomiting and aspiration pneumonia. The most common cause of death in this situation. This needs to be done in a timely fashion to prevent aspiration and death, as in this case. Surgery plays a small part in treatment, yeah? So they would have been able to do something without surgical procedure, yeah? Because if they did more surgical procedure, it would cause more adhesions. Majority of patients respond to non-operative management as detailed above. Unfortunately, Andy refused to come into hospital for treatment, which could have prevented the aspiration of stomach content in his lungs and saved his life. So what they're saying, right, is if he went into hospital, they would have been able to do something after the fact. But when Andy was in hospital in the March last year, they said that they couldn't do anything. Yeah. But in this case I could have done. Like I say, because Andy was a stubborn man. I don't know whether you didn't know whether to do the right thing, but Andy refused to go into hospital. So yeah, because it was all during the lockdowns, you see. They said that they did because Andy was having problems feeling bloated and blocked. They said they couldn't find anything. Yeah, and they tell you in there what the things that they did, and they didn't find anything. Because Andy had perianal sepsis, which was the abscess, and they did they did operate on that and drained it. They say that his muscles were weak. The bowel made the muscles and becomes weak as the body gets weak, which is sadly what happened to Andy. He was bedbound, and that also had an impact on his bloating and blockage, or he felt as though it was blockage. It was a slow movement of his, the digestive tract. Like I said, they said they couldn't find anything because they did an endoscopy, and they said they couldn't find anything. Yeah. They say that they got the camera beyond the area of concern with no difficulty. They also said that because Andy was on a lot of painkillers, that could have delayed gastric emptying because he was on a lot of medication. They said it frequently causes side effects like nausea and sickness. They said that because I asked how far in the intestine did they look, and they did look 20 centimetres past the stomach. Yeah. Yeah. Because they couldn't find anything, they wouldn't go any further with the investigation. Yeah. So yeah, to put it in a nutshell, and because Andy's body became weak, yeah, he had problems with feeling bloated and blocked, vomiting. They said it was caused with all sorts of things, medication and the likes, because I couldn't find anything. But yeah, I'm not going to push it any further. I'm not. It's not that I'm accepting what is said on there, but it would be a waste of time me trying to fight it, because in the end of the day it'll be them that win. and I would lose out. Yeah, that's exactly. So yeah, it took me a long time to actually sort of face all of this, you know. But yeah, like I say, if Andy did go into hospital and would have been able to do anything, they said that they could there, but because it all happened during the lockdown, yeah. There was restrictions on, I couldn't go into hospital with him. I couldn't even go into the ambulance, never mind visiting him in hospital, because the restrictions were that good that you couldn't even go to see anybody in the hospital. So even if he did go, I wouldn't have been able to go anywhere near the hospital to see him. And that was one of the things why he wouldn't go into hospital. And unfortunately, it all ended badly, you know. But yeah, I probably won't be the only person that felt really bitter about what happened, you know. Because I know there was a few people felt bitter. Because in the end, there's still questions that will remain unanswered, you know. Why he lost so much weight in such a short time. And if they did the investigation and they couldn't find anything, yeah, why did he lose all the weight? And they said that in there that it could have they said something about it showed signs of Crohn's disease. But I know a lot of people have got Crohn's disease and they're still here. But yeah, there'll always be them unanswered questions, you know. But the thing is with Andy, he was one of these people when he was admitted into hospital with any type of problem, yeah, he would get himself, he would be hot-headed and discharge himself. And what happens is, every time he would go into hospital, they wouldn't keep records of when he was in previously. Every time he went into hospital, it was like all starting over again. So each time he went into hospital, they would get so far, and then he would get hot-headed, stubborn, and then discharge himself, and then the process will start all over again every time he was admitted into hospital. So in the end of the day, he was literally preventing the medical profession from finding out what was really wrong with him. You know, he was preventing it himself. I know it sounds awful to say it, but that's exactly what was happening. And like people say, I was there for him, but he had his own mind, you see, and so anything that he would always say that he was always kept in the dark. The thing is, they would do x-rays, CT scans and things like that, you know, and like I say, he would there's been times when I've visited him in hospital and he's got all uppity about something and discharged himself, and having to, oh God, carry all the stuff that I brought, you know, back home. Yeah, that's what, that was really what Andy was like. And like I say, I know it sounds awful for me to say it, but yeah, he stopped people from investigating what was wrong with him. any further. I think they could do whatever they could in the circumstances, but Andy was the one that would yeah, he was the one that would stop them in the tracks. And like I say, every time he would get admitted into hospital, the process would start all over again. So there you go. Yeah, that's what Andy was like. Hey. And that sounds quiet. Jeepers laid down there. We put it outside. Yeah. Yeah, he's outside doing things. Yeah. Right. Right, I am going to go. Yeah. But like I say, I'm not chasing this up. Because in the end of the day, I wouldn't win it anyway. So, speak soon, and toodaloo for now.